Hey guys, here with another short video showing you how to do a compression test on a any engine, really. It doesn't matter what it is, 4 to 12 cylinder. It's all the same procedure. The only thing you'll need for this test is a compression tester, which you see I got right here. You can get one of these at a parts store for about 20 or well, about $30 or $40 for a decent one. Other than that, the only other thing you would need to do is to disable the fuel pump from running, or mostly these cars have fuses which would also turn off the engine management, so no spark either. And this particular car is a 2000 Honda Civic. You want to look for a fuse right here that says FI, fuel injection, and engine management. If you pull that fuse out, then the fuel pump will be disabled, as will the ignition system. If you're working on any other different car, make sure that you get the fuel pump fuse out, and if you cannot for some reason find a ignition control fuse or engine management fuse, the best thing to do would be to pull off the coil wire, if there is one, if your car is a distributor. If not, you want to just start the car and let it run for a few seconds to make sure that there is no more residual gas in the line, so that way the car is not trying to start on you when you're doing this test. After you get that out of the way, you'll go ahead and put your compression tester and thread it into the spark plug hole, as you see I have already in there. Then you'll go ahead and go inside the car and crank it over for about 4 to 5 seconds, which we can do that now. And that'll be enough. Go ahead and turn the key off. Then you'll want to come back and do a reading on your gauge. Now keep in mind, this car does have a blown head gasket. I have not done it yet, so the reading might not be as high as a healthier engine, let's say. So let's see what we got. Oh, okay, we actually almost have 180 psi, which is actually really good. A healthy engine will have anywhere from 170 to 200 psi, whereas a normally worn engine could read from 120 to 150 psi, around there. The main thing you're looking for is no more than a 10 psi difference between each cylinder. So if I tested all these cylinders, which I have, one of them reads 160 psi and all the other ones read 180 psi. Let me say that again. One of them reads 170 psi and all the others read 180. So that's fine, that's well within what it needs to be. Now if that one cylinder, let's say, was at 50 psi or something drastically low, that would indicate that you have a mechanical failure. More than likely piston rings are probably to be to blame for that. But you would use a compression test mostly to diagnose a misfire. Now when most cars throw check engine lights and have misfire codes, more than likely 90% of the time it is either a ignition problem or a fuel problem. It's very rarely that it's actually a mechanical failure, but if you do need to test and diagnose a misfire, this is the test you would use. You wouldn't really use this test to diagnose a head gasket failure. You would use a leak down test. I can try and show a video of that in the near future, but yeah, this would just be mostly if you have a misfire, and this is probably be your last resort as far as a test goes. If for some reason you do have a misfire and you suspect mechanical failure, if one of your cylinders does read low, what you could do to try and determine if it is a piston ring failure is to remove the compression tester and get like a bottle cap, the lid, from a water bottle, fill it up with a little bit of oil, pour it down the spark plug hole, and then go on ahead and reinstall your compression tester. Crank the engine 4 to 5 seconds and see what your reading is. If you get a reading that is higher than it normally was, then it's safe to say that your piston rings are bad. If the reading tends to stay where it's at or really close to where it was, then you probably have a valve seating issue, or it could be a worn valve guides that are letting out, you know, compression somewhere. The problem would be laying in the head at that point. So other than that, like I said, you use the compression tester to diagnose a misfire as your last ditch effort to see what the problem is. Other than that, this is just a general video showing you how to do a compression test on an engine. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below. And also, if this is your first time here, feel free to check out any other videos that I have. I am doing a giveaway. I will leave a link to that video. And I'm just trying to reach 100 subscribers. I appreciate you guys that have been here and watching me so far. And for all the new people, don't forget to hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button. All right, thanks guys.